they say around here, keep Austin weird. They're going to keep it electric today inside Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium, home to the Longhorns. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit. As we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on another SEC rival, the Texas Longhorns. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Buckeyes will put total weather to crank us up. He wisely lets that one bounce through the back of the end zone, and they'll take over at the 25. First down here for the offense. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there, forces second down.
I love the quick decision the QB made there on that RPO, knowing he wanted to get it out of his hands fast. He just needs to make a more accurate throw moving forward.
Last incompletion leaves them still sitting at their own 25 with 2nd and 10. It'll be a draw. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, you clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
So already they've hit a speed bump on this opening drive. It's 3rd and 8. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming.
Well, they try to throw for it there on 3rd down on the opening drive of the game. They don't get it, but let's punt the ball away. Let's trust our defense. And, guys, let's also trust this home field advantage and the crowd to get loud and make it real difficult on our opponent.
And the Longhorns will punt it away on 4th down. First one of the day is on its way, and he's been sort of scarce around here, only called on 1 time in that loss last week. Slips through the line. The speed, the shiftiness, the elusiveness, all on display in that sweet return there. Barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Going up top on 1st down. Wasting no time taking a shot. Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. That's the kind of drive everybody loves. So see quarterback, 1 snap, put it in the end zone. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. He'll start the return inside his 5. He's able to sneak his way across the 20 and steps out of the 21. over, and they'll send out the offense. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
We just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and short. Wide out in motion. The give to the running back from the shotgun. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
Looking for that first down on 3rd and short from the 28. Running with power. And they did not let him reach the line to gain. It'll bring up a decision here.
29-yard line. Now, a 4th down.
The offense in its own end, still needing a couple of yards for the first down, but they'll stay out there and go for it on 4th. Quarterback will audible. Try to get it on the ground. Will not get there. A 4th down stop.
Aggressive. You want to be aggressive. You want to take chances, and you tell your team about it all week, and you come out, you get an opportunity in the first half to go for it on 4th down. You shot your shot. The problem is now you put your defense in a bad situation early in this game where you're going to have to try to find a way to get a stop and create some momentum.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. And, David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
He'll toss it. And that might have been a bad read as the defense just swarms all over the pitch man.
Don't you love energetic defenses that fly around and make things happen? The ones that get in the backfield, the running back tries to go somewhere. Where do you want him to go? There is nowhere to go. Nice job by the defense, creating the tackle for a loss on first down.
Couldn't get him blocked on that last one. Now it's 2nd and 14. The give to the back. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce on you and seize momentum.
Man, it's nice having a QB that is going to hang in there. You could tell, hanging in there. He knows he's going to get hit, right? If I'm going to get hit, I might as well make a completion. Great job hanging in there, throwing the football on target and getting the completion.
4th down, and this crowd is making it miserable on this offense. They'll try to pick up the first. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Buckeyes!
And this running back is so dangerous down close to the end zone. He's got wiggle, he's got great vision and burst, and he showed all of those attributes right there.
Ready to try the point after. And the extra point makes it 14-0. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And what a way to finish it with a 9-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team out there getting set.
Set to kick this one away. Texas.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. Here comes the Texas offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Still some work to do after that last completion at second down. Movement here from the tight end. Looking to throw on second down. He's going to let it go. What a snag by the defense. Just a small return, but a big play as they have it now at the 45.
As a quarterback, you've got to give your receiver an opportunity to make the play. You've got to put the ball on his body. And that throw gets away a little bit from the QB, and that leads to the tip and the interception.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Jesse, a very productive drive last time wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice bounce.
Looking for a huge play. Got it. Takes it to the house. Touchdown, Ohio State. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Texas.
And he takes this from inside the 5. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Now they've got breathing room, got 6 all the way out to the 20.
I know it's sexy to throw the football, but if you can pound it away and get these kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get first downs, and ultimately get some points.
Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on second and 4. Got his man quickly. And he'll pick up the first down, but he got drilled on that tackle. First down to start the drive after the break. Looking to move it through the air. Going to throw it over the top of the knee. And they can't make the connection, going for a big play on first down.
Well, at this juncture in the game, with how the scoreboard looks, no question this offense is going to have to throw to get back in the game, and it's going to be tricky now because the defense is expecting it. You're going to throw into a lot of big zone coverages with everybody's eyes on the quarterback. Not going to be easy.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Rumbles ahead for a pickup of 5 to the 29.
Well, nice job there by the running back. They toss it to him, and he's able to kind of weave his way for a very good gain for this offense.
Ball spotted at the 29. Here they come on 3rd and short. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. They'll go to the air. Pocket starts to collapse. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down.
QBs and receivers on 3rd down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure. The quarterback gets hit, just not on the same page with his target.
You want to talk about aggressive or wacky? This head coach is keeping his offense on the field inside his own 30. On 4th down, going to the air. And they can't connect, and the gamble does not work out.
Hey, at this point of the game, 4th and short, no problem going for it. 4th and medium, I think it's too early to start taking some of these chances. I think you need to just let the game play out a little bit and trust your defense.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up.
A shot toward the end zone. And swatted down by the defense to stop the scoring opportunity.
Well, the game plan's been pretty simple offensively, right? They are taking shots and they're being aggressive throwing it down the field. This guy's already got 2 touchdown passes. We're still in the first half. On that last one, he was looking for number 3.
Running to the left. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
And the last thing they need is to squander this great field position facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He wants to go deep. That ball is intercepted at the goal line. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And this ball looks like it just got away from the quarterback. I think he made the right decision. He was going to the receiver that seemed open, but just not very accurate on the throw, and that leads to the interception.
So Texas has it again, and here comes the offense. They just haven't been able to get anything going, and they better get started or it's going to get away from them, David.
Yeah, and these are the weeks that you really wish that you were playing a video game and you could just reset the console, start over, Jesse, and make something better happen early.
They just look like they're sleepwalking in this first half, and it's not just one guy. They just haven't been playing collectively as a unit. And if I'm the head coach, I'm considering starting to give some other dudes some chances here.
Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Gets rid of it. Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that 1st down.
I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit, and let's keep going.
This is the type of play that can give the offense momentum. 3rd and short from inside the 20. They'll try to bully their way for the first. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
They're a couple of yards short of the first down, but the offense will stay out there on 4th down. Off the RPO, throw to the right, looking for the first. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the first down there.
Yeah, and you got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were, and because of that, he gives up the first down. Need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
You know, as an offense, oftentimes you try the reverse play because you're trying to take advantage of a defense over pursuing and by a lot of defensive team speed. Didn't work right there. Great discipline by this defense.
Trying play action. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
That's a great individual effort by him right there. When I think about Ohio State football, too, especially on defense, right, it's the legacy of the silver bullets, guys flying around, giving great effort and getting to the football, but it all has to start up front on the D-line. You've got to be dominant at that position, and right there, you just saw that, the ability to win one-on-one and make a play.
We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 40. Wide receiver now comes in motion. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's a play on 3rd down. This offense just has to do a better job protecting their quarterback. Give him a split second more time to complete that throw, but they couldn't do it there.
Gets it away, good distance, but more importantly, just the direction he wanted. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young quarterback and making sure he's able to turn the page, calm him down to go out and refocus this drive.
Yeah, and some people do that better than others, but you got to show some trust in him, maybe get the ground game going, help around him a little bit with this system.
That's the type of explosive play you love to start a drive with. First down from the 42. Running back searching for a hole. And he's ridden to the ground, but there's also a flag down. Let's check the call. They say you could call holding on every play. Well, they did on that one. Offense getting set for first down. They'll run the option. Now the toss. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Gets set for second down. Got his man on the outside. And oh, he was off to the races after the catch, and they finally drag him down.
How about this offense? They're rolling. They got a couple first downs together. Defense. Next, what's your response? What do you got? You got to make some adjustments here.
The Buckeyes will snap it on 1st and 10. He's going to pass. They'll run the screen. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
You know, you got to be careful as a QB throwing to your running back in man coverage. If there's a linebacker draped all over him, then that ball's not going anywhere. You just saw it right there. Better play by the defense.
And now on 2nd down for this offense. He's looking to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down.
This defense is going to have to make some adjustments here at halftime because they have been taken advantage of deep down the field in the passing game. They've already given up 2 TD passes. That was almost number 3, and we're only in the first half.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Throwing right. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds.
And the quarterback and receiver just not on the same page on that last play. Timing has got to be so critical, especially when you're throwing the perimeter of the field. They just didn't have it.
And the Buckeyes will send out the punt unit. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. Gets his first one of the day away, and that matches his total from that victory last week. Sending the offense back onto the field. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, Paul. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
6-yard pickup on 1st down, leaves him with 2nd and 4. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
Man, this defense has been so impressive to watch. Look at him. Get to the quarterback, get the sack. They play so fast. It's like they have 12 men on the field. Another good performance going down right now. Coming off of last week, putting a goose egg on the board against their last opponent.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. They'll put the tight end in motion. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Feeling some heat. The Longhorns moving quickly to the line. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. The Longhorns will call on their punt team. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. So from the shadow of his goalpost, he gets the punt away. Makes the catch around the 50. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. One more snap coming before halftime. Quick pass on the fly motion. And he's taken down after a short gain, and that'll do it for us here in the first half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Got things teed up and just about ready to go here in the second half. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. going to the run to start this second half. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
In halftime in this locker room, there was a lot of positive things to talk about. You got the lead, but you know what else will be positive, Palmer? Get the running game going early in this second half.
You're absolutely right here, and I think this coaching staff is going to try to put this game on the offensive line a little bit. Let these guys take this thing over, be physical, and push this defense around.
From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run.
Fast motion from the offense. On second down, he's looking downfield. It's complete on the right side. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down.
Great job by the quarterback thrown against zone coverage. You cannot telegraph where you're throwing the football. You cannot eyeball wide receivers. So great job by the quarterback using his eyes, not staring down his guy, and then throwing him open.
3rd and short now. They snap it from their own 46. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to run.
The Buckeyes send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Solid punt, headed toward the sideline, trying to make it tough to return. And here comes the Texas offense back on the field. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
And that would be the definition of first down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice first down execution.
Now the play fake. Makes the grab on the shuffle. Oh, so close to paying off. The tip really had it in his hands, but it falls incomplete.
I love the job here by the linebacker. He just kind of floats and he's shuffling and he's waiting to see which way the quarterback's going to go with the football. Not able to snag it out of the air, but hey, batting it away, it's a big-time play.
If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a 3rd down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast. Tackle is made after the first down.
You know, they pride themselves on being physical at the point of attack, dominating at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there picking up the first down.
The Longhorns come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Forges ahead, picks up about 3 to the 29.
And it's just simple. Simple first down run, showing your physicality, setting your offense up in a good spot.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Motion from the offense. Little touch pass to the receiver. Crosses the 40. Oh, look out, there he goes. Defense caught out of position, and they get him down finally at the 38.
And you see so many of these plays now in today's football. Wide receiver coming in motion, and the quarterback catches it, just flips it forward. That's a completed pass. You see the big plays where it just lets him get on the edge really, really quickly. And if he drops the football coming in motion, it's just an incomplete pass. So these plays are getting big plays with really no risk.
I love this linebacker because he's able to dissect what's happening in front of him, and he reacts downhill, uses his speed to get to the line of scrimmage and create the negative play.
Put themselves in a bit of a bind with that last one is 2nd and 14. He's looking to throw. Fired in there, but incomplete.
Well, give the defense credit because they're forcing this quarterback to throw into very small windows under duress.
Seventh play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. It's caught downfield. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up for the 1st down.
Well, I think on that play you saw why this guy's such a big weapon in this offense. At receiver, he does such a nice job with his routes. He's patient, and he's consistent, and he's got good hands. You don't see him put a lot of balls on the ground. Nice job there picking up the 1st down.
In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. Quickly to the tight end. He finally goes out of bounds, but you better check that laundry on the field. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. The hand to the running back. Just a solid stop by this sophomore.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on 1st down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good 2nd down.
This offense has a 2nd down play. Quarterback checking off. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And that's a great job by the defense, understanding exactly the situation, understanding to stay home, play sound. No matter who gets the football, we're going to run to the football hard. We're going to cage the football, be disciplined. Nice job by the defense.
They'll snap it for the 10th time on this drive, but they need a chunk on 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Unloads to the wideout. And that 3rd down pass had some serious juice, but they couldn't hook up.
Really nice 3rd down sub defense there that time. It's 3rd and long. They're expecting pass, and they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback, and now forcing the incompletion, setting up 4th.
And on 4th down, they'll try to put 3 on the board. Looks as if this will be a 51-yard attempt. No good. After the missed field goal, still down by 21 points, guys.
Well, they knew coming into this game, touchdowns were going to be real hard to come by going up against this defense. So when you got opportunities to kick field goals, you've got to come away with 3 points. You're not going to get these chances very often.
Just enough time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Looking to go up top on 1st down. He got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete. This will be the final play of the 3rd quarter with just 1 tick left on the clock. They think there's room to run to the right here. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this 3rd period.
Ohio State, 21, Texas.
They've changed ends of the field, now facing third down as they go back to work. Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. Fires to the tight end. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
Outstanding game, has taken care of the football. Now late in the game, you got the lead. That first down now tells me now it's time to start running the football, run the clock, get out of here with the dub.
He's looking to throw it. Makes the grab on the left. Just plowing down the field. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there in a similar situation with a lead like this. They'd definitely be running the ball at this point. They'd probably take their starting quarterback out of the game potentially, but not this unit. They are still staying aggressive. They're still taking shots. They're just trying to light up the scoreboard.
No, sirree. Not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one. Line getting set on second down. Here's a quick throw out to the left. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size.
I'll say this, man. In college football, you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job form tagging.
They keep attacking through the air. He looks that one in nicely. He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the first down on the throwing catch.
Well, I tell you, man, this guy's been putting on a show all game long. We've seen his decision-making. We've seen his athleticism. Because of him, they've got this huge lead in the fourth quarter. So why stop throwing it? Just keep it going when the going's good.
He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped.
Yeah, and if this offense can keep that rolling, if they can keep the physical ground game and continue to add these plays up as they go along, long drives, eat the clock with the lead, this coach will be ecstatic.
Keeping it on the ground on first and goal. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And the stomping has commenced. That'll give them a little more breathing room as they try to push this winning streak to 5. Offense gets the job done again. You want to build that cushion as we get deeper into the second half.
Man, it makes it easy, doesn't it? You start getting up by a couple possessions, making the offense very predictable on the other side. Great job by the offense extending their lead.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. And here come the horns. They've got it again on offense. To throw on first down off the play fake. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops, just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. Looking to throw on second down. A strike downfield. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chain.
This offense has not put their best product on the field today. They've got no points to show for any of their efforts so far, but they've still got a chance. But if it's going to happen, it has to happen now in this 2-minute situation. This is where their playmakers need to step up.
Trying to find his man on first down. He's got the tight end. And he might be known for run fits, but that was a sure and heavy tackle on the tight end. That's why the good Lord invented tight ends, isn't it, David? Get a good pickup on first down, open up the entire playbook.
And it just makes life so easy on quarterbacks. I mean, you got these guys that are so gifted athletically that you can do everything with them. They're like overgrown wide receivers, and now understanding zones and how to attack them. It's just unbelievable when you got these kind of big athletes.
And the Longhorns look to keep this drive humming. Comes out throwing on first down. Got his man in the middle. At the 35, he's open. Afterburner's coming. Run out of bounds just before he could get it into the end zone, and now they're set up first and goal. The offense threatening, close to the end zone now with a new set of downs.
Here we go.
They'll try to get it in with the run. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Longhorns! In a lot of losses, you just want to burn the tape. You don't want to watch it. But I think there's some things that they can take into next week from this performance.
No doubt. Offense is about finding your rhythm, finding your groove, what you do well. And you can tell, at least now, starting to get a little something going that maybe you can build on.
Lining up to add another.
Kicker is on for the extra point.
The extra point is good, but they're still down 28-7. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Coastal Carolina has the lead right now, but they haven't been able to separate themselves just yet there on the surf turf in Conway. They're up by 10 over Texas State. We are the eyes and ears of the college football fan, and we've got you covered all day here in studio, guys.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They're down big, but they'll keep fighting to the bitter end and line up for the onside kick here. And the kick bounces out of bounds. They will not get the onside attempt, but they will draw a flag. Here comes the offense on first down. He'll start this drive firing. Gonna take a shot at this DB. Hits him in stride inside the 10. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it first and goal at the 6.
Well, this offense has just been dialing up explosive play after explosive play. That's a big part of why they have a huge lead at this point. And even in the fourth quarter with that lead, they are still taking shots. They are still being aggressive, pedal to the metal.
He'll ride his man on the option. He'll pitch it. Touchdown, Ohio State! And the punishment has been extended. They tack on another score, and how about the way this team has responded to a loss and now about to move to 9-1.
And the offense continues to run the football. The second rushing touchdown from the running back. The offensive line paving holes continue to feed this man the ball.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. They wasted no time on that drive. 2 plays, touchdown just like that. Kickoff team lining up to send this one away.
Texas.
And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. So now the Longhorns take over and they'll send out the offense. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing, David. Jimmy's and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent today.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face and it stinks, but you're not good enough. And today they were not good enough. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to flush this down the toilet, not remember it, forget it, move on for the next game. Maybe something right here I can create positive that carries over to practice and maybe next week.
Not a lot of productivity on that last play. They'll try it again on 2nd and long from the 23. Lofts one deep down the right side. And it's picked off. At the 35, he's got room. Bringing it back. He's at the 30. They make the tackle after the turnover, but hang on just a second. There's a flag on the field. Let's see if it stands. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. Couldn't ask for better field position for this offense. He'll come out throwing on 1st down. Finds his big tight end. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a 1st down.
They pick up the 1st down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like, because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the field. If it's zone, he's got to sit down over the ball in a soft spot, giving his quarterback a place to go with it. Nice job.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. Gets it into the end zone, but there's a flag down. We'll see if this one is coming back. First down here for the offense. Here's the snap, looking to throw. And they're not on the same page there.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great right here to end the game.
2nd down coming up. On the option. Plows through the defense. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down.
QBs that can run completely change your game plan. I mean, every single bit of it. You have to understand now as a pass rusher, I got to keep him in the pocket. I got to understand all the zone read concepts and the power read and the jet read, all the different things they can do to you. So, having a guy back there at the head.
And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
Some would say run out the clock. Some would say I don't need to add points. But here's the thing. It's your job to stop them on defense. Now, listen, the handshakes, they might get a little bit interesting after this game, but the offense did their job.
And he tacks on the extra point.
That makes the score Ohio State 42. Texas.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive.
Number 98 set to kick this one away. Texas.
Fair catch called for and made. defense set for a first down play. He wants to throw. They're trying to get to it. Intercepted. Taking it the other way. And he's going to go down as time has run out. Well, this one had all the suspense of a bug hurtling his way toward a windshield, and they did splatter them. An absolutely dominating performance.
You got to give the coaching staff a ton of credit. They obviously had their guys ready to play and motivated right from the opening kick. All three phases we saw, just spectacular football. No mental mistakes, David. You really can't play better than that.
Nah, it's really fun to do this. Come out and just dominate opponents. Start from finish. Nothing to worry about. You just know you're better. You're going to do you, put up a bunch of points, and win by a lot of points.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.